Today we're going to talk about how judgments affect real estate. First of all, how do you get a judgment against you? Well, unfortunately, if you have a judgment against you, it means that you have been sued in the civil context and that you have lost. So that means potentially that a court or a judge or a jury has decided that you owe money to another party. So a judgment is recorded in the clerk of court and an order is entered saying how much money you owe and to whom. All right, so that's how you get a judgment against you, but what does that have to do with your real estate? Let's say you own a piece of land in Iredell County where we are, and you lost a lawsuit against someone and that person has a judgment against you for $10,000. Well, you're just kind of moving about life. You may not have the cash to pay the $10,000, but in a couple years you decide that you're going to sell that lot you own in Iredell County. Because you have the judgment docketed against you in Iredell County, whenever that lot is being sold, the title search will reveal the judgment against you, and the judgment will have to be paid off so that you can provide clear title to the buyer. Now, a judgment against you attaches to all property that you own in that county where the judgment is docketed, but specifically in your name. So if the judgment is against you specifically and you own property just in your name in the county where that judgment is docketed, then it would attach to every piece of property that is in that county. If you own property in other counties that are outside of the county where you got the judgment against you, then for the judgment to attach in those other counties, then the judgment creditor would have to go through the process of docketing that judgment in the counties where you own property. But essentially, they take the judgment and get it filed of record in all the counties where you own property, and then that judgment would attach in those counties as well. What about if you are married and you own the property as tenants by the entirety? So in North Carolina, meaning you own the property as husband and wife. Well, in that case, the judgment would have to be against you and your spouse. The judgment attached to real property owned by the judgment debtor. So if a person gets a judgment against them, but they only own property as tenants by the entirety with them and their spouse, then that judgment may not attach to the property owned. If you are getting value out of this video, I would love if you take a second to like, subscribe, hit the bell so you can be notified, and leave us a comment. We often get inspired by your comments to help us make future videos, and we love getting to know and learn about the people that watch the videos. It is a good idea whenever you're under contract to sell property to not try to conceal these facts because they're going to come out eventually. We do sometimes see sellers, they have judgments against them, but they don't want anyone to know. Understandably, they may be embarrassed or it may be something they don't want to talk about, but they try to conceal it in hopes that it won't be found out and they won't have to pay off the judgment at closing. So it can sometimes be a surprise to the agent to see on a closing statement, oh, we've got this judgment to be paid off, and in fact, now there are not enough proceeds for the seller to take any money out of the transaction. The seller's actually going to have to bring money. So these are the types of things that can come up in a title search. They're going to come out as part of the closing. It's going to have to be paid off in the closing if the judgment is still valid. So it is best to just get that information into the closing attorney's hands early rather than just hoping that the closing attorney doesn't catch it and that you'll be able to skate under the radar. That's not typically the case. It's going to be found in the search and it will have to be paid off. So a payoff will have to be obtained. So that is kind of the lowdown on judgments and how they affect real estate. I hope that was helpful to you. Again, I'm Tiffany Weber, a real estate attorney at Thomas & Weber in Mooresville, North Carolina, and we'll see you in the next video.